All right, you maggots, listen up. Now, I know a lot of you are tired of this Hallicrafters SX42, but just think about from my point of view, how long I've been on this radio and how many things wrong with it. And I do work on it a little bit each day, but it is the biggest steaming pile of shit that I've ever seen. And the people that reviewed it told stories about their childhood and everything. They don't know what a review is. They don't know shit from Shinola. They didn't bother to warn anybody. There are warnings about this receiver as being hard. Now, the great help one of the groups did. The poor guy, he turned the slugs for the one of the IF cans in too far, and he couldn't get a null. So they convinced him that he needed to recoat the coils inside with wax. Another person told him that the leads from his capacitors were too long. See, that's the kind of, it's just, this thing attracts stupid people. And I'm going to consider myself stupid because I bought it. That's where I'm at. Now, one of the gears, you can tell that somebody drilled and put a pin in the collet, so you can't get that collet off that. Whether that was a manufacturer's modification, but this gear and another gear, you have to move them together. So in order to get to this gear here, you have to take the whole thing totally apart. It's not made to be repaired. This is the same level as their IF can, the discriminator, and the BFO can. They weren't made to be repaired. And they did sell replacement parts for this mechanism originally. Now, how's the person going to get this gear off? You need a gear puller. But I want to show you, hopefully you can see in there. Let me get it just right. You can see in there. Now I can show you that gear in there. Now if it'll cooperate with us today. There. It came off. It came off the spline. There's a spline in the shaft that this hub gear gets pressed onto. And I don't know if you can see the discoloration on this here is all super glue. Somebody tried to super glue this thing in position. All right, and that's what's one of the main things wrong with this unit right now. I have to get a gear puller. I had gear pullers. I sold them for food to get out of New Jersey. So you gotta use a gear puller, and that gear that's moving back and forth real freely, that could have a crack through it, and that's why it's not grasping the shaft as tight as it should be. Or someone continued to use the radio even though that gear wasn't moving anymore, and the shaft inside of it kept moving and wore it. So that you're talking a lot of hours that this thing hasn't been operated correctly. But everything connected to a Hallicrafters SX42 is bad news. And you know, you don't have to believe me. You can go buy one and you can play with it and then put it in a closet somewhere. And then at some point after you've messed it up, put it on eBay for someone like me coming along that really wants to fix the radio. And the fact that, you know, you saw me in the last video find out that the contact cement that I bought didn't glue to the inner tube, and it didn't glue to copper. And it's the contact cement is made by Loctite, and normally I bought the contact cement made by DAP, which is the original company. I've been using contact cement since I was a little kid, since my father let me have some from when he was doing some paneling in the kitchen. It works really good. Well, it didn't work at all on two different type materials. I don't believe it. I think it's the fact that I bought the Loctite. You know, I had the package in my hand. I'm saying this isn't the contact cement I normally buy, but the other voice in my head says, John, stop being so fanatical. So I bought it. I glued it. I did test strips. Everything looked fine. And I basically said I would dare you to find any contact cement residue on this piece or on this piece. It's like the glue has disappeared. I've never seen anything like that in my life. All right, that's where I'm at this point. I'm only doing these videos for someone to know that it's not just them. All right, I think that's it. All right, that's it.